I apologize for this mishappening. The lines between what was and what is seem to have been caught up, crossed up, kind of caught up by fear. See, fear, it grips you, then it trips you. It holds you tight till your sleep no longer wants sleep. Your dreams fade into the background as mere insignificant memories, never to be realized. Never to be realized, that is, if fear strips you of your pure common sense God has given you. One thing I want you to realize is fear is not your friend. I have personally realized fear is not my friend. Like ice being cracked and poured into a cool, crisp glass of water were my thoughts. They came as easily as one would drink from the cool, refreshing glass on a hot summer day. Just as easily did my thoughts flow to the page, mounted in my mind, transferring my deepest thoughts, hurts, pains, life lessons, and frustrations onto this page. Somehow, some way, someday, it stopped. My hurt became too deep and my life lessons too severe. At this moment, when the encryptions encrypted in my mind read fear, I simply screamed out loud, but inside my mind said no. Then I said and thought to myself, God, how do you expect me to write? These are the questions I asked because, you see, my internal foolery was foolery, just foolish. The fear that gripped me turned my pain, and as if anorexia distorted the reflection of myself. It distorted the very reflection of me. And as if I had anorexia, I believed the reflection my current internal picture painted of me. See, these paintings, they tormented me and hung at every visual spot of my walls, hypothetically speaking, of course. Now imagine closing your eyelids to see repetitive lessons you should have learned, being taught again and again because it seemed that your so-called intelligence was foolery. This trickery, the fear that pointed back at you. I bowed my head heavily. I resisted, even restricted myself from stepping on the scale to realize reality. To see my scale is a measurement of what I really weigh, my true reality. The scale realizes how heavy my right foot is, along with the density of my left. Unfortunately, this disease called fear distorted my view of me. It even convinced me that my scale was unnecessary. To step on and off it in the reality of me, my weight, my inability to learn my lesson. I trusted my fear and the reflection I saw of me because it whispered, trusting me is better than the pain of your reality. Feel me, fear. I replied and I said yes. Like any person with any disease or any issue or distortion, I realized that my reality needed me and I needed my reality. Without this, how could I ever become free? Then something inside of me rescued me. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff does comfort me. He has laid a table before me in the presence of my enemy. I am a child of the King, who shall I be afraid? This was the best personal reciting of Psalms 23:4. My weights will become my testimonies, and my life lessons help to others going through the stage of life called growing up. At this point, my testimony was revived. My heart began to palpitate. I got on the scale and realized in life, we must know our weight, not the illusions of how bad they are, nor how big. One thing that is apparent, one thing I have realized is that in life, I have been in more messes than I can count. Had no food, no car, no hope, but if I continue to assume, if I continue to rely on the reflection placed in front of me and believe in the reflection of a disease which distorts and contorts my situation, how will I ever be able to weigh true reality? I stepped on the scale. I will admit I had not gained as much weight as reflected, the scale told me. In my life situations, to be exact, I have struggled. What you see from my journey of real weight loss comes from being broken. I have realized that this is what will make my marvelous testimony. Down but not out, I am fearful no longer. So that's it.